What if I told you our kids are feeling more anxious than ever? Their brains are craving phones instead of real connections. Today, we're diving deep into the best-selling book, The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt. You might know him from his TED Talk, The Coddling of the American Mind. And if you haven't heard of this book yet, buckle up because what he says will shock you. We'll uncover the hidden reasons behind the staggering rise in anxiety, depression, and self-harm among our young people. It's an alarming epidemic and it's happening right under our noses. Prepare to be both challenged and inspired as we explore 4 surprising ways kids are getting hurt and discover the 4 practical steps we can all take to help them heal. This isn't just a book summary. This is a wake-up call and a roadmap to a better future for our children. And now let's dive into the shocking truth about our generation gap. So, if you're born after 1990, let me guess. You grew up with a Game Boy or a Nintendo DS. Am I right? Well, if you're a millennial like me, you probably have fond memories of simpler times. But sadly, the same can't be said for today's youth. After 2010, everything shifted. According to best-selling author Jonathan Haidt, this was the year zero marked a monumental shift in how kids spend their time and how their brains develop. Childhood before 2010 was all about outdoor fun playing, exploring, getting messy, climbing trees, building forts, and riding bikes. But after 2010, it's like the world flipped upside down. Instead of unstructured playtime, kids glued to their phones. Kids who don't remember the days when the only entertainment was whatever came on TV that afternoon. Author Jonathan Haidt calls this the great rewiring of childhood. In a nutshell, back in the day, children spent countless hours lost in imaginary worlds, crafting cardboard spaceships, pretending to be valiant knights or ferocious dinosaurs. There were no screens, so they created their own adventures. And get this, they didn't even have smartphones. They used their imaginations to come up with games and adventures. But why is this such a big deal? As it turns out, this kind of free play is vital for a child's development. It helps them learn how to negotiate the world, solve problems, and make decisions. Kids today hardly get to build those skills anymore. You know why? Everything changed after 2010. Smartphones became a part of school projects, homework, and extracurricular activities. Suddenly, a child's attention span went from weeks or months of a single activity to mere minutes, just like adults. They constantly switch between apps and tasks. But here's the catch. This constant switching is messing with their brains. It's making them less able to focus on one thing at a time. It's like a workout for the brain. And unfortunately, most kids are skipping leg day. They're not developing the mental muscle they need to stay focused on something for an extended period. But here's where it gets really interesting. Jonathan highlights an unexpected twist in this digital era. Kids aren't the only ones glued to their phones. Parents are also spending more time with their devices than with their kids. And it's not just about screen time. Author Jonathan Haidt says it's about the quality of that time. Some parents are so glued to their phones that they totally miss out on those precious moments with their kids. They're not fully present when they're playing or talking to their children. It's like they're mentally checked out, which is really sad. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, the impact of this new reality on our kids' mental health. According to the CDC, suicide rates among children have tripled in the last 50 years, quadrupled for girls. And if you thought that was bad, wait till you hear this. Self-harm has increased by 151%, and let's not forget about depression and anxiety. 1 in 6 students admit to having seriously considered ending their lives. Can you believe that nearly 40% of high schoolers are feeling really down? These stats show a generation that's hurting, but here's where it gets even more baffling. Believe it or not, these problems began appearing long before the pandemic. According to Jonathan Haidt, the downward spiral began around 2010, which means something else is going on here. Something about the digital world is taking a toll on our kids' mental health, and it's happening faster than we realize. Okay, so you might be thinking, social media, right? We've all heard those stories of teens becoming obsessed with likes or losing hours scrolling through feeds, but trust me, it's deeper than that. Here's what makes social media so toxic for young minds. First off, it's like a never-ending game of comparison. Teens are constantly bombarded with images of seemingly perfect lives, which can make them feel inadequate or envious. It's like looking at a highlight reel and feeling like your own life is boring in comparison. And let's not forget about the trolls. Cyberbullying is like a dark cloud hanging over social media. Mean comments and fake news can really hurt someone's self-esteem, and sometimes even drive them to extreme measures. Then there's the fear of missing out, the FOMO. It's like a constant feeling of anxiety that you're not doing what everyone else is doing. You feel left out and it drives you to make impulsive decisions. And let's not forget about the selfie obsession. With filters and photo editing apps, teens are so caught up in crafting the perfect image that they lose sight of their true selves. It's like living in a bubble where everyone's showcasing a fake version of themselves. But here's the kicker. According to Jonathan Haidt, girls are getting hit the hardest. Why? Well, it's like a double-edged sword. Girls are more likely to be victims of bullying, and they're also more likely to be the bullies. Social media is like a minefield for them. And speaking of social media, did you know that the latest research shows that it messes with your brain chemistry? Yeah, it's like a roller coaster ride for your emotions. Dopamine, the feel-good hormone, goes wild every time you get a notification. It's like a mini reward, which makes you want to keep checking your phone. But here's the catch. It keeps you craving more and more. You can't seem to get enough of those dopamine hits. And that's why so many teens are glued to their phones. It's like a never-ending game of mental roulette. But hey, at least they're not alone. Adults are just as addicted to their devices. But here's where it gets really interesting. A survey found that 90% of teens feel pressured to use social media. They're like guinea pigs in a social experiment with little understanding of the long-term consequences. Jonathan Haidt calls this social media addiction a massive, unintended consequence. It's like a hidden danger lurking beneath the surface. But hold on a minute. Why do you think teens are so hooked on their phones? Well, for starters, they provide instant gratification. Think about it. With just a swipe, you can access a treasure trove of entertainment, information, and connection. It's like having a buffet of fun right at your fingertips. But here's the catch. This instant pleasure hits their reward center. Basically, their brains are being rewired to crave instant kicks, which is why traditional hobbies like reading or playing an instrument just don't cut it anymore. But here's the ironic twist. The more they chase instant gratification, the more anxious they become. It's like a vicious cycle. And let's not forget about the fear of missing out. The FOMO is real. When everyone's sharing their adventures on social media, teens feel compelled to document their own experiences to stay relevant. It's like a never-ending race to keep up with the Joneses, except now it's happening online. And let's not forget about the pressure to project a perfect image on social media. It's like everyone's wearing masks. They're afraid of being judged if they show their true selves. It's like living in a world where everyone is comparing their highlight reels and trying to outdo each other. So let's be honest, we all love a good story. We've always loved gathering around fires to share stories. But here's where things get interesting. Social media has turned us into story addicts. We crave narratives that explain the why and how of our world. And boy, do we love a good villain. According to Jonathan Haidt, this natural instinct is what makes us vulnerable to the social media trap. It's like we're drawn to stories that confirm our beliefs and fuel our outrage. But here's the irony. This constant exposure to outrage and tribal echo chambers is fracturing our society. We're becoming more divided and less empathetic. Now let's talk about the one thing kids are missing out on the most in this digital age. And prepare to be surprised, because it's not just screen time. Sure, kids are spending hours in front of screens, but it's what they're missing that truly matters. According to Jonathan Haidt, children are losing 3 essential aspects of childhood. First up, free play. Kids simply aren't engaging in unstructured playtime anymore. Instead, their days are packed with organized activities and screen time. Next, real friendships. With everyone glued to their phones, face-to-face interactions are becoming a thing of the past. Kids are missing out on developing essential social skills. Sleep is super important, but kids are up late, scrolling through social media instead of getting those But here's the kicker. These 3 things are crucial for a child's development. Free play helps them develop problem-solving skills and creativity. Real friendships teach them empathy and communication. And sleep is essential for their physical and emotional well-being. But here's the mind-blowing part. Studies show that early screen exposure actually stunts brain development. It's like putting a screen in front of a child is equivalent to smoking during pregnancy. Talk about a wake-up call. So here's the deal. What can we do about all this? Jonathan Haidt lays out for practical steps that can make a real difference in kids' lives. First, ban smartphones from schools. Seriously, kids are spending more time on their phones than actually learning. So why not start by creating phone-free zones in schools? It's time to prioritize education over likes and followers. Second, delay social media access until kids are 16 right now. They're signing up for platforms like Instagram and TikTok way too young. Let's give their brains a chance to develop before they're exposed to the pressures of social media. Third, encourage unsupervised play. Kids need to explore the world on their own terms, not under the watchful eye of adults. Let them climb trees, get dirty, and discover the joys of boredom. And finally, let's take collective action. Parents, teachers, and communities must come together to address this issue. It's time to reclaim childhood and ensure that our kids grow up happy and healthy. In a nutshell, this book is a wake-up call. It's time to stop ignoring the struggles of our younger generation. Our kids are facing unprecedented challenges, and it's our responsibility to support them. Whether you're a parent, educator, or community member, we all have a role to play in fostering a healthier, happier future for our kids. So let's take action. Let's create a world where our children can thrive. The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt is a book that will stay with you long after you finish reading it. It's a powerful reminder that our kids need us now more than ever. By understanding their struggles and taking action, we can help them build a brighter future. Don't miss out on this important conversation. Pick up a copy of The Anxious Generation and join the movement towards a better, more hopeful tomorrow for our next generation. That's a wrap for today, folks. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this video helpful, share it with your friends and family. Your support means everything to us. Drop your thoughts, questions, and comments below. Let's keep the conversation going, and remember, small steps lead to big changes. Let's make a difference together. See you next time.